Hi guys, this is video 10. Can't believe I'm at video 10 already and I haven't even got to my operation yet. But I wanted to take you through all the stages of my journey from when I first decided to go for the operation to actually having the operation and afterwards. So that's why I've done so many videos. So I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you're getting some help from them. I just wanted it to be real of how I was feeling and what happens. So last week I went to see the anaesthetist and I can never say that word, anaesthetist and surgeon, who was lovely. The lady anaesthetist told me how things were going to pan out in the operation, what she did, how it's done, and what happens when I come round, etc., etc. That was all fine. The surgeon, again, was lovely, but kind of very strict and formal. So, again, it felt like I was going for a bit like a job interview. But it was great. It was just some of the questions he asked me, I couldn't come out with like the right worded answers. I got a bit tongue-tied, looked a bit stupid, but managed to get across how I was feeling and the answer I wanted to give. So he was happy with that. But I did change my mind. So I'm now not having the sleeve. I'm having the gastric bypass. And this was because of what he told me. I mean, you have the option, the surgeon doesn't swing your mind either way. They do both. But it's got to be your choice at the end of the day. But he did tell me if things go wrong with the sleeve, which they can, although it's very rare that they do go wrong, things happen called a gastric leak, is where your stitches inside or your stomach doesn't join together or heal up properly. And he told me that it's more complicated if this happens when you've got a sleeve than if it happens when you've got a bypass, purely because it's so much difficult to fix the sleeve than it is to fix the leak and bypass. So he said if you did have problems, and it's very rare that you do have problems, if you did have problems with the sleeve, you'd have to be rushed back into hospital, put on a drip, you'd have to have a secondary operation, you couldn't eat for a while, so you'd have to be fed through a tube. And the process of how they do it, I didn't really go into great depth, I should have asked actually, but he said the process of getting it back to how it should be, one, it may not ever get fixed and you're in and out of hospital and having checks all the time. Could take up to 6 months that you're in hospital. So that wasn't news to my ears really. But he said if you have the gastric bypass, the complications afterwards and the chances of a leak are less than if you have the sleeve. I think it's because although there's more cuts and incisions when you have a bypass as they reroute everything, there's less chance of leakage because they're smaller incisions than if you had the sleeve. So the sleeve, you have a big incision to take half your stomach away. So it's a big, you have to join up and get stapled and sewn and however they do it, a bigger section, which I think what he was trying to get at. Whereas with the bypass, it's lots of little incisions and joins. So there's less likely a chance of a leak. Anyway, he said if I had a leak with a bypass, then again, it'd be the same procedure. I'd get rushed into hospital, but it would basically just be in, done, fixed and out. Touch wood, I wouldn't have any more complications. So he said if there was a problem, that going for the bypass would be better than having the sleeve. He also told me that although both operations have the same outcome in the end, if you wanted to say like lose 70% of your body weight, if you had the sleeve, it would take up to 2 years to lose 70% of your body weight. If you had the bypass, it would take up to a year. So a bypass, you lose weight quicker than the sleeve, could take up to 2 years. At the end, the results are both the same. You're both going to lose 70% of your body weight, but it just takes longer with the sleeve than the bypass. I hope that makes sense and I've said that right and you understand. So again, in that respect, everybody wants to lose weight quicker, don't they? So that was a big bonus for me, big tick point. And I guess the reason why I chose the sleeve in the first place, one, because when I initially rang up the hospital to get information, she took all my details and my weight and my height and everything. She said, right, I'm going to put you forward for the sleeve. So I automatically thought that this was something to do with how heavy I was. You know, the heavier you are, you can only have certain operations. So I didn't think anything of it. Didn't think that I'd have the choice. And when I told the nurse at my first appointment, he went mental, and said that they'd been having problems with the people on the end of the telephone to begin with, telling people which operations they could have, which they shouldn't be doing. It should be your own personal choice, and you can have either operation. You know, doesn't matter if you're 20 stone, 30 stone, however heavy you are, you can be put forward for both. There's no difference. So, of course, from that first telephone call that I had, I'd got it into my head because she told me that I was going for the sleeve. So I'd done all the research online on the sleeve, read books, done YouTube vlogs, looked at people who have had it done, but I didn't really look into having the bypass because she told me I was having the sleeve. So anyway, after that appointment, I went away and I did research the bypass, and I still decided to go for the sleeve. In my naivety, I thought, because it's only one incision, you know, they cut through your stomach, take half your stomach away, sew you up, job done. In my mind. For the bypass, they reroute everything, don't they? They join your stomach up tubes and everything to elsewhere and bypass your main stomach. So for that reason, I thought, well, it's got to be easier if you just have one incision than you have lots. So in my mind, it was easier to have the sleeve than the bypass. So after hearing what my surgeon said, I did go away and think about it. He said, don't make a decision now. Go away and think about it. Just let me know a week before you come in for surgery and let me know what you've chosen. So it was purely my choice. If I wanted to still go for the sleeve, I could have absolutely done that. But I did go away, do lots more research, and I have decided to go for the bypass. So I've swapped. So that was that. I've yesterday started my liver reduction diet. I am doing the milk diet. I got given 2 options. This was the sheet I got sent. One for milk and one for yogurts. Now, again, thought long and hard which one to use. I like milk and I like yogurt. But I thought there's more options you can have with milk. So you can have warm milk, you can have tea and coffee as long as you don't have it sweetened or sugar in it. I could have milkshake, so the Crusher brand do a sugar-free milkshake syrup which you can add. I can have that. And I just thought there was a lot more options with milk than there is yogurt, because yogurt, you just have it as a yogurt, don't you? You can't heat it up. No one likes hot yogurt. So I decided to go for my 3 pints of milk instead of 8 yogurts. That was the choice I got. So I've written it out. This is the times that they recommended that you have it. I've also got to have 1 cup of Marmite, which I'm drinking at the moment. Now, I love Marmite. Marmite on toast, best thing ever. In a drink with hot water, not really tasty, but they say you need to have a cup a day because your body needs the salt from it. So this is where this is what I've decided to do. So 9 o'clock, I have 400 mils of milk. I normally have it warm because I just think it's nice to have something warm when you wake up. So I normally have that. If I'm up earlier and I need something, then I'll make myself a cup of tea or coffee. 11 o'clock, again, 300 mils of milk. This one I normally have with my Crusher milkshake because it's just something as a mid-morning snack that you can have. I then try and eke it out a bit till 2, where I have my Marmite drink, which is what I'm drinking now. Not very nice. And then you're meant to have another 300 mils of milk. I can't have it together because drinking milk on top of warm Marmite, it churns my stomach a bit. So I do tend to wait an hour. So perhaps I'll have my Marmite drink either 1, half 1, and then I'll have my lunchtime milk half an hour or an hour later. Then another 400 mils of milk at dinner time, whether you have your dinner at 5, 6, 7 o'clock, it's up to you. I try and have mine anytime after 5, because by then I'm a bit hungry, and I have it warm again, because I think that if you have it warm, it's kind of like having a hot meal, isn't it? You kind of trick your stomach into having something warm, and it helps me. So I have that then. And then round about bedtime, supper time, I need another 300 mils of milk. So yesterday, come bedtime, I was really struggling. I was still full. In my mind, I just couldn't stomach another glass of milk, but I did force myself to drink another glass of warm milk. Warm milk before bed is quite nice, helps you go to sleep. And you have to kind of stick, you can't have anything less, because your body needs the nutrients and the protein and stuff. So you have to stick to your 3 pints of milk. On top of that, I need to drink up to 2 litres of water. Again, I struggle with water, but you can have sugar-free squash. So, and I say you can have black tea, black coffee, herbal teas. So you can get your fluids in that way. I just sip it throughout the day. I have some squash when I can, but I really have to kind of remind myself to be drinking water as well. Does mean that you're on the loo pretty much all the time. Don't be far away from the loo, because you will be peeing a lot. I think I've gone to the loo at least 20 times already this morning. I'm up and down the stairs. It's good for fitness. But yeah, make sure, if anything, if you're doing the milk diet, that you are near the loo. And the yogurt diet, I suppose, because you still need to drink 2 litres of water. On top of that, you need to have a vitamin a day. I've got a huge pot of vitamins from Boots, 180 tablets. You will need these after you've had surgery anyway, so I tend to buy in bulk. Just make sure that it's got all the vitamins in it that you've been told that you need. I've got a list somewhere, I won't bore you now, but all the vitamins that I need are in those. And that is it. You can have sugar-free jelly if you get really hungry. I've made one up in the fridge. I have been taking a few spoonfuls when I just get a little bit, I need something to eat. It does help. So, yeah, that's it. I've got to be on that for 2 weeks. And my surgery is on the 12th of October. At 12 o'clock, I've got to be in hospital. So I'm going to have my surgery quite late in the day, I think. So, yeah, excited, nervous, scared, all those things. It's been the only thing I can think of. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. It's the only thing that's really on my mind at the moment leading up to it, is that I'm going to be having this operation. I can't really concentrate on work or anything really. It's always there. So I will do my next vlog on, I think, Friday. If there's anything I think that you might need to know on Friday, I will do one when I've been for my pre-op. And then I will do one on the morning of my operation and let you know how it will go. I hope you're all well. And if you're going through the same as me, it'd be great to hear from you. If you want a little chat, message me. And yeah, we can discuss stories and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go speak to you hopefully at the end of the week. And I'll let you know how my pre-op goes. Thanks. Bye.